Here is a question. If you could hear every thought in this room, would you have any friends left? It sounds simple, but think about it. We build our entire reality on words. Trust me, I promise. But if you stripped away the dialogue, could you still tell the difference between a friend and a predator? Most people cannot. They are deaf to the truth because they are addicted to the noise. But there is a way to see the script. Underneath the script, you are sleepwalking through a minefield. You are blindfolded by social conditioning. You believe that the reality you perceive is the truth, but you are hallucinating. You are watching a play where every actor has forgotten they're wearing a mask. Every single day, you are fed fabrications. You are deceived by the superior who smiles while signing your termination papers. You are deceived by the lover who feigns intimacy while calculating their exit strategy. You are deceived by friends who secretly pray for your failure because your success illuminates their own mediocrity. And the tragedy is not the deception itself. The tragedy is that you believe it. You believe it because you were trained to be polite, not observant. You were domesticated. You were taught to listen to words, but words are the debris of communication. Words are the smoke bombs we throw to distract one another from the raw data of intent. But there is a second language, a primal code. It is older than English, older than Sanskrit, older than the concept of civilization. It is the language of biology. It is the binary code of the autonomic nervous system. It is a language that cannot lie because it bypasses the conscious mind entirely. This transmission is not a tutorial. This is an awakening. We are handing you the keys to the X-ray machine. We are going to teach you to strip away the facade of social niceties and gaze upon the terrified pulsing machinery of human nature underneath. By the end of this broadcast, you will never look at a human face the same way again. You will walk into a room and you will not see people. You will see fears. You will see hungers. You will see the desperate, trembling child hiding inside the armor of the adult. Welcome to the deep end. Welcome to the watchtower. To become an operator, you must first understand the architecture of the machine you are analyzing. You must understand why the code leaks. The human brain is not a unified government. It is a civil war. On the penthouse floor you have the neocortex, the CEO. This structure handles logic, language, and fabrication. When a human tells a lie, the neocortex constructs the narrative. It is the lawyer arguing the case. But in the dark basement of the skull, there's the limbic system. The reptile, this biological relic, cares only for survival. It governs the force: fighting, fleeing, feeding, and mating. Here is the glitch that gives you power. The reptile is faster than the CEO. The limbic system reacts to a threat or an attraction in milliseconds. The neocortex is slow. It takes crucial seconds to process and fabricate a cover us up. This time gap is where the truth lies. When you drop a stimulus, the limbic system reacts instantly with a physical shift, a micro-minus expression, a tension in the neck, a dilation of the pupil. Then half a second later the neocortex steps into paint over the crack with a smile. Your objective is to ignore the paint and capture the crack. You are looking for the ghost in the machine. Let us begin the scan. Most amateurs look at the mouth. This is a mistake. The mouth is the most manipulated muscle on the face. We learn to smile before we learn to speak. The smile is the mask. Instead, you must look at the eyes. The eyes are the only part of the brain visibly exposed to the outside world. Watch the aperture. When a human sees something they desire, something that floods their dopamine receptors, the pupils dilate. They expand to consume more of the target. This is autonomic. They cannot prevent it. If you are in a negotiation or seduction and you place your offer on the table, watch the black of the eyes. If the pupils contract into pinpoints, you have triggered a threat response. They are shutting you out. The mouth may say I need time to think, but the biology is screaming I want this. Next, observe the blink rate. The baseline is 15 to 20 blinks per minute. When the processor is under load, when the brain is calculating a lie, the rate shifts. The liar will often stop blinking entirely. This is the stare of control. They are forcing the eyes open to simulate honesty. It is an over-minus correction. Then the moment the lie is delivered and accepted, a rapid flurry of blinks occurs. This is the recovery. This is the nervous system venting the built-meanness up static. Watch for the blocking mechanism. When the optic nerve perceives a threat, the brain commands a shutter speed reduction. We squint. We rub our eyes. We pinch the bridge of the nose. This is an infantile reflex retained in adulthood. The child covers his eyes to make the monster disappear. The executive rubs his eyes to make your proposal disappear. If you are speaking and the subject shields their eyes, stop talking. You are being deleted from their visual field. Pivot immediately or you will lose them forever. We move down the chassis. The further a body part is from the brain, the more honest it is. The face is a skilled liar. The hands are partial truth meanestellers. The feet are the most honest part of the human anatomy. Consider the hands. They are the vocal cords of the anxiety response. When the human animal is confident, the hands occupy space. We see the steeple fingertips touching like a cathedral spire. This is the universal signal of intellectual dominance. If you see the steeple, do not argue. They believe they are the smartest person in the room. Contrast this with the pacifiers. When we are anxious, we need a mother's touch. In the boardroom, we cannot ask for a hug, so we hug ourselves. We touch our own necks. The neck is a supermave. The neck is a supernerves. Massage of the vagus nerve lowers the heart rate. It is a biological tranquilizer. If you see a man adjusting his tie constantly or a woman touching the suprasternal notch at the base of the throat, do not believe their calm voice. They are internally hyperventilating. They feel exposed. They feel hunted. But the ultimate giveaway lies on the floor. Millions of years of evolution have hardwired our feet to react to danger before our conscious mind is even aware of it. Where we kick, therefore the feet point towards what we desire and away from what we fear. You approach to people in conversation. They turn their torsos towards you. They smile, but look down. If their feet remain locked in place pointing at each other, you are an intruder. Their upper body is polite, but their feet are creating a closed circuit. You are not welcome. If you are speaking to a subject, and one foot is pointed toward the exit, toward the elevator, toward the door, the conversation is dead. Their brain has already left the room. Stop talking. If you continue, you become a nuisance. This is the tyranny of the feet. They never lie. Now that you can scan the hardware, we must upgrade your software. We must discuss the psychology of the cold red. How do mentalists and fortune tellers hack the human operating system? Do they have a gift? No. They understand the mechanics of narcissism. They utilize the rainbow ruse. This is a statement that credits the subject with a specific personality trait while simultaneously crediting them with the exact opposite. It covers the full spectrum of probability, yet it feels surgically specific. You say you are someone who can be the life of the party, wild and energetic, but I sense that you treasure your solitude, and there are times when you just want to shut the world out and recharge. Analyze the data. This applies to every human being on Earth. We all oscillate between introversion and extroversion, but the subject's brain will ignore the generic miss and latch onto the specific memory that validates the hit. He sees my hidden depth. You create a bond out of thin air. The second mechanism is shotgunning. You fire a cluster of vague stressors into the dark and wait for a scream. You say, I sense a conflict with an authority figure. A father, a boss, a mentor, someone who did not give you the credit you earned. If they nod, you zoom in. If they look confused, you flip the script. You say, or perhaps it is you who has been forced to be the authority figure, carrying the burden for those who refuse to grow up. This works because of the Barnum effect. Humans are starved for validation. We are so desperate to be understood that we will do the work for the reader. We will fill in the blanks. We will connect the dots. We want to believe we are complex characters in a grand novel rather than biological algorithms running on a loop. Beyond the tells and the tricks, you must learn to identify the predators. You must categorize the soul you are dealing with. There are 3 dangerous archetypes you will encounter in the wild. First, the covert narcissist. Not the loud braggart, the weaponized victim. They are the eternal martyr. They are the one who gives too much and receives too little. The tell, watch for the humble brag. Watch for the complaint that is secretly a compliment. I care too much, that is my curse. The danger, they will drain your resources to fill the void where their self-esteem should be. Second, the Machiavellian. For this profile, life is a zero-sum game. For them to win, you must lose. They are charming. They are high-maintenance functioning. They ask questions but reveal nothing. The tell, calculated emotion. They switch charm on and off like a circuit breaker. Watch their face when the conversation ends. The mask drops instantly into a flat, dead stare. The danger. They are not your friend. They are recruiting you as a pawn. Third, the energy vampire. This entity thrives on crisis. If there is no drama, they will manufacture it. They are addicted to the cortisol spike of chaos. The tell, every narrative is a catastrophe. A history of crazy Xmas lovers, bad luck and systemic persecution. The danger, if you try to save them, you will drown with them. So you have gathered the data. You saw the pupil dilation. You saw the foot pointing toward the door. You heard the subtle bragging of the narcissist. Now you must synthesize. This is the art of deduction. You must learn to think backwards. You see a man in a bespoke suit, wearing a Rolex, but his fingernails are bitten down to the bloody quick. What is the story? The suit signals status. The watch signals wealth, but the nails signal severe chronic anxiety. The deduction. He is an imposter. He is under immense financial pressure to maintain an image he cannot afford. He is one bad month away from total collapse. He is not powerful, he is desperate. You see a woman who is silent, in a group, smiling politely, but her eyes are scanning the room. When the loud alpha of the group speaks, she does not look at him, she looks at the others to gauge their reaction. The deduction, she is the true power. She is not seeking validation, she is assessing threats. She is the kingmaker. You must build the profile. Do not judge. Judging is emotional. Profiling is clinical. Ask yourself, what is this person afraid of? What is the lie they tell themselves to sleep at night? Once you know a man's fear, you know his master. Once you know a man's desire, you hold his leash. I must offer a final warning. There is a reason most people choose blindness. When you take the red pill, when you learn to read the code, you destroy the fantasy. You lose the ability to enjoy the polite fiction of society. You will go to a family dinner and see the resentment in your brother's eyes. You will go on a date and realize within 5 minutes that the human across from you is emotionally bankrupt. You will see the insecurity of your leaders, the deception of your idols, the fragility of your heroes. It is a lonely path. You will feel like an anthropologist stranded on a primitive planet. You will watch people run the same broken scripts, make the same mistakes, and tell the same lies over and over again. You will be tempted to become cynical. You will be tempted to use this power to manipulate, to destroy, to toy with people for your own amusement. Resist this urge. The true operator does not use his sight to harm. He uses it to navigate. He uses it to protect the few people who actually matter. When you see the anxiety in a stranger, offer kindness instead of judgment. When you see the fear in your partner, offer safety instead of conflict. When you see the deception in a predator, walk away before the trap snaps shut. The world is a jungle at night. Most people are stumbling through it, with their eyes closed, hoping they do not bump into a tiger. You are now the one with the night might, vision goggles. Do not waste this gift. Information is the ultimate currency. The one who sees more wins. By observing, you gather ammunition that you may never need to fire, but having it makes you invincible. Tomorrow when you step out of your door, do not engage. Just watch. Watch the hands. Watch the feet. Watch the blink rate. Listen to the silence between the words. Read the room before the room reads you. We are Mind Ministry, and we are watching.